If they can't take your real guns, they're going to take your blaster. You see the stormtroopers here with breadsticks, and over here you got the Leia with a banana. That's their way of protesting or just being goofy. Uh, at Phoenix Comic Con, after they banned prop weapons for a couple days in May. Uh, what they're afraid of is some guy showed up at a 29-year-old guy from Arizona showed up at Phoenix Comic Con carrying 4 loaded guns and a knife, claimed to be real life version of Punisher, was made threatening comments on social media, and was reportedly looking for a showdown with police. But the thing is, they screened him and they stopped him. But also, what they're worried about is the backpack bombs, like at the Ariana Grande concert in England, where Muslims killed 23 people and 200 injured because they allowed backpacks. And let's see, down here it says, "You being afraid there would be a shooting or a bombing at one of our conventions. No one got hurt here, but enhanced screening, metal detectors, backpack checks, prop weapon restrictions is now going to be the norm. It's the same as going to a concert. At the end result, shows are going to be safer." So there's going to be longer lines, additional screening, or a directive to leave the swords at home. And those decisions are being made by law enforcement and security on the property. Expenses will go up, serious burden on the larger conventions. San Diego Comic Con isn't changing anything right now. They're staying the same. But the thing is, why are they cracking down on everybody else who hasn't? They haven't done anything. They have not planning to do anything. Uh, Instead of going after people who have records and disorderly conduct, it like Muslims, they would do something like see how they would probe the target. They would try to get as far as they can before they see where they're picked up and kicked out. They would use scouts to do that, because they're more organized. But let's look at this other one. Uh, there are some great props that look very real, but a convention can't check them properly, but instead blanket bans everything. They're wasting my time as a cosplayer. This is what I spent all year doing so I can show them off at conventions. Uh, if they take that away, I have taken one of my reasons to go in the first place. Well, first off, you can go to the smaller conventions. I mean, even Bakersfield isn't a big town, but they're starting to have very crowded conventions a few times a year, 2 or 3 different conventions with different themes. The anime convention, the Comic Con, and the Collector Con, and they're getting busier and busier. You choose to go to those, and they probably won't have those kind of restrictions on it, because they're a more relaxed little town than the huge population centers. And people are starting to do that anyway, because there's like a huge overcrowding problem at New York Comic Con and San Diego. But he says something here: if a convention can't check them properly. When I went to uh, what is it, Star Wars Celebration, the first thing I noticed was that the stormtrooper weapons were oversized. They were made too large to be real weapons, uh, and they looked like painted plastic. So all you have to do is look a little closer and check the weight of the thing, and you can tell if there's anything inside it, any mechanisms inside it for firing a bullet or projectile, and that's all you have to do. But Denver Comic Con banning toy guns, prohibited blunt weapons, wooden metal bars, clubs, brass knuckles, mallets, whips, golf clubs. Well, those could be used. But a lot of the prop weapons look like this guy's hammer right here. And it's just all plastic and cardboard and painted to look like it looks like a Warhammer 40K weapon. It doesn't look like a hammer that could hurt anybody. Uh, you, they might be worried that there's a block of wood in there that you can hit somebody and hurt them or something, but really it's not really made that way. Instead of a block of wood, they're worried about, the cosplayers are worried about weight, and they don't want to hurt anybody, so it's going to be made of foam inside instead of wood. And cosplayers carrying weapons into conventions are expected to check them out with security. If a weapon looks fake, doesn't appear to pose any danger, it gets a colored tag and continues into the convention, and protective wrapping that cosplayers add sharp edges, and swords can be tied into their scabbards. So there's plenty of ways around it. You just be a little more creative and a little more intelligent, and you can filter it out. And cosplayers are not there to hurt anybody. The only instance of violence at Comic Con is somebody stabbed a guy in the eye with a pin over an empty chair at a panel. That was 2010, and a crazy driver in 2014 injured somebody while in a crowd of cosplayers on the street during the zombie walk. So that's outside the convention. It's probably the weakest point would be outside the convention, so they need to really make sure those cars are blocked off there. I have never felt unsafe at conventions due to weapons, the costumes of weapons, seeing people walk around 7-foot swords, seemingly bloodstained, and all the manner of weapons comes with the territory. I wouldn't have it any other way. What to expect at Comic-Con at San Diego.
San Diego Comic-Con is quickly approaching. Here's what we expect to be hot at the show. The weather. Now, that was a terrible joke. I will file that and we will start over again. Number 1, movies. Hall H is going to be chock full of superheroes with both Marvel and DC out in full force. Marvel will be promoting Thor, Ragnarok, and Black Panther, while DC will be hyping up Justice League. Other geek movies likely making an appearance at SDCC 2017 include Deadpool 2, Blade Runner 2049, and Ready Player One. On to number 2, the small silver screen, television. Friday is usually the big day for TV panels, and I'm expecting Westworld to make a big splash in Hall H this year with lots of information about its second season. Other great geek shows with panels we're looking forward to: FX's Legion, Netflix's Stranger Things and The Defenders, AMC's The Walking Dead, ABC's Inhumans, Amazon...
But yeah, what is the problem is they're punishing the rest of the cosplayers for what someone who is not a cosplayer is trying to pretend to be, using the cosplayers as cover to commit a crime, and they're blaming the cosplayers for it, and that's not how it works. If law enforcement went after people who were already on their watch lists, then they're going to catch more of them. If they can prevent this kind of thing by cracking down on people who are already on their watch lists. Instead of punishing everybody else. But yeah, it's beginning to be a problem, and fandom is under attack, and I don't like it.